Mr. President, High Commissioner, distinguished delegates, the people of Iran are living through a nightmare. Allow me to share the story of a family who spent 3 days searching for their son. He had left home to protest in the streets of Tehran, but never returned. In distress, his parents first searched the hospitals where many of the wounded have been abducted and killed. Having failed to find him, they went next to the notorious morgue in Kahrizak. They searched among countless bodies in black plastic bags, mutilated by bullet wounds, unceremoniously dumped on the floor like piles of garbage. Grieving families wanting to retrieve the bodies are told to pay exorbitant sums of money for the bullets used to kill their loved ones. Yet others are forced to sign confessions blaming imaginary terrorists for the murder of their children. Hope and horror were intertwined as the parents opened the black bags one by one. Their search was not in vain. They found their son still alive. He had miraculously survived severe bullet wounds, lying motionless inside the body bag for 3 days, pretending to be dead to avoid execution by a finishing shot to the head. Just imagine the relief that mother and father must have felt. But for most, there is no such miracle. The search ends in devastating grief. These are the scenes from hell confronting countless Iranians today. Mr. President, even against the blood-stained record of the Islamic Republic, extensively documented by the UN, the savagery of the past days is unprecedented. The authorities initially claimed that 5,000 had been killed, but reduced the figure to 3,000 2 days ago. This is a gross underestimate. 5 days ago, a report by medical doctors inside Iran put the number at 16,500 killed and 330,000 injured. The number increases each day because the killings haven't stopped. We may not know the exact number because of the internet blackout, but by any plausible estimate, this is the worst mass murder in the contemporary history of Iran. Our beautiful country has become a cemetery in which the hopes of our youth are buried. I began my career as a UN human rights officer here in Geneva in 1993 during the war in the former Yugoslavia. I went on to serve as a prosecutor at the International Criminal Tribunal in The Hague. I helped draft the indictment for the Srebrenica genocide, in which some 8,000 Bosnian Muslims were massacred during July of 1995. By comparison, at least twice that number has been killed in Iran in half the time. This is an extermination. And unlike Bosnia, there is no war between military forces. There is only a war by the Islamic Republic against unarmed youth crying for a better future. Mr. President, the Iranian people look to this council for justice. It is imperative to ensure that the international independent fact-finding mission has sufficient resources for its investigative function to preserve and collate the massive amounts of evidence to facilitate accountability. The Islamic Republic, of course, is not a party to the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. The Security Council should be asked to make a Chapter 7 referral, even if it is unlikely to do so because of its cynical politics. We persist, however, in the hope that one day, in the not-too-distant future, in a democratic Iran, those most responsible for these crimes against humanity will be prosecuted before an independent and impartial special court. We have no doubt that Iran, too, will have its Nuremberg moment. Mr. President, distinguished delegates, attempts to portray these protests among millions as a foreign conspiracy is an insult to the memory of those who have sacrificed their lives for freedom. The Iranian people are heir to a rich and ancient civilization. Theirs is the heritage of Cyrus the Great, the author of the first human rights declaration from 2,500 years ago, in the cuneiform alphabet of the clay cylinder that is today housed in the British Museum. Of Saadi of Shiraz, whose wards adorn the UN headquarters in New York. Human beings are members of a whole, he reminds us, in creation of one essence and soul. Our collective pain and suffering has brought us ever closer together in a profound shared humanity. It has only increased our determination to put an end to this nightmare. Like our ancestors, we persist in the belief that in the end, light will triumph over the darkness. The day will come when we will dance in the streets and celebrate our freedom. And when that day comes, we will remember those who stood with us in our hour of need. Thank you.